When Courtney Hadwin first stepped onto the America's Got Talent stage in 2018, she didn't just look nervous. She looked like she wanted to disappear, barely making eye contact. Her voice trembled as she greeted the judges with a soft hi. Mel B gently asked how she was doing, and Courtney admitted, "I'm a little bit nervous." It was a vulnerable moment, the kind that often ends in sympathy applause, not superstardom. But what happened next left the entire room in stunned silence. As the music began, Otis Redding's hard to handle. The timid teenager lowered her head and transformed. In one breathtaking second, her entire posture changed. Her voice ripped through the speakers like a lightning bolt. Her body erupted into wild, erratic movements. It was as if a different soul had taken over. The judges' jaws dropped. Tyra Banks gawked from the sidelines. Simon Cowell and Howie Mandel exchanged looks of sheer disbelief. And then it happened. Howie Mandel slammed the golden buzzer. Courtney fell to her knees as golden confetti rained down. Her father rushed to the stage, overwhelmed. She couldn't stop crying. And the world? It couldn't stop watching. This wasn't just a good audition. It was a moment that would be replayed millions of times, a launchpad into instant fame. But what made it so electric wasn't just the voice, it was the contrast, the transformation, the question lingering in everyone's mind. How can someone so shy perform like that? To most people watching, Courtney Hadwin seemed like two completely different people trapped in one body. Off stage, she was timid, anxious, barely able to string a confident sentence together. But once the music hit, it was as if she flipped a switch. Her voice became raw and explosive. Her body moved with an unfiltered energy. It wasn't just performing, it was possession. And no one could look away. Even Howie Mandel said it aloud, "You're not from this era. You're from a whole different time." He wasn't joking. He compared Courtney to Janis Joplin, a musical force who defined the rebellious sound of the 1960s. It was a bold comparison, but in that moment, it felt earned. And Courtney? She knew exactly what he meant. She later admitted, "When I hear music, I come alive. I feel electrified. I just get into it and start moving." Her transformation wasn't an act, it was instinct. Music wasn't just sound to her, it was freedom. But that very transformation, the sudden shift from painfully shy teen to fireball rock goddess, left people divided. Some praised her as a genius. Others wondered if it was just too strange to be real. And that wasn't the only thing about Courtney people didn't understand. Long before Courtney Hadwin stunned the world, she was just a kid who didn't quite fit in. At school, her classmates didn't see a rising star. They saw someone different. And they didn't like it. In interviews, Courtney revealed the brutal truth. She was often mocked for how she danced, how she moved, even how she dressed. Her energy, the very thing that would later bring audiences to their feet, was ridiculed by those around her. Some told her to tone it down. Others told her to stop altogether. She admitted, "I got the feeling maybe I should change and listen to everybody." But she didn't, because somewhere deep down, she remembered Janis Joplin, a woman who refused to conform and still made history. Courtney made a choice. She embraced her weirdness. She leaned into the chaos, and she brought it all onto the stage unfiltered. It wasn't just rebellion, it was survival. She wasn't just performing to impress the judges. She was proving to every kid who ever felt out of place that it was okay to stand out. And that mindset would shape her next performance, a moment that would push the boundaries of what anyone expected from a 14-year-old girl on live TV. When Courtney Hadwin returned to the stage for her next live performance, she didn't just meet expectations, she obliterated them. This time, she chose James Brown's Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, a bold, unpredictable choice for a 14-year-old girl. But when the lights hit and the music dropped, Courtney didn't hold back for a second. Backed by a full band, she stormed the stage like it belonged to her. Her voice growled, cracked, and soared all at once, dancing right on the edge of control. And she didn't just sing, she moved with wild, erratic energy. Twists, jerks, stomps. The kind of movements critics once mocked became her signature style. This wasn't a performance, it was a defiance. The judges were floored. Heidi Klum exclaimed, "I haven't been this excited about a new artist in a very, very long time." Mel B was even more fired up, shouting, "I want tickets to your show tonight, and tomorrow, and every night after that." But perhaps the most telling reaction came from Simon Cowell. Known for his icy critiques, he didn't offer advice this time. He simply said, "Don't change a thing. Just keep doing what you're doing." It was clear. Courtney wasn't just impressing the judges, she was rewriting the rules. But just as she gained unstoppable momentum, cracks started to show. By the time the semifinals rolled around, the pressure was suffocating. Courtney Hadwin had gone from underdog to favorite, and now expectations were sky high. Her next song? Steppenwolf's Born to Be Wild. And, in true Courtney fashion, she didn't just perform it, she attacked it. The raspy vocals, the unpredictable movements, the stage presence, everything that made her unique was on full display. The crowd erupted. Simon Cowell and Howie Mandel leapt to their feet. Tyra Banks was so charged up, she couldn't even sit down. "You were born to be wild," she screamed. And this was wild. But not everyone was convinced. Mel B, usually one of Courtney's loudest supporters, took a different tone. "I have to be honest," she said. "Tonight was a little bit off. I felt your nerves. I didn't feel that confidence that you usually have." It was a rare moment of vulnerability, and Courtney felt it. The same girl who had once lit up the stage now stood quietly, absorbing the sting of doubt. The criticism hit hard, not just for Courtney, but for her growing fan base. Was she cracking under the pressure? Was the spotlight too bright, too soon? But Courtney Hadwin wasn't done. Not even close. Because in the final round, she would come back with something no one expected. Critics had begun to whisper. Was Courtney Hadwin slipping under the weight of expectation? Had the nerves finally caught up with her? If so, she never showed it. Because when the finals arrived, Courtney didn't just show up, she erupted. Her song of choice, River Deep, Mountain High by Tina Turner. A vocal volcano of a song that demands range, power, and absolute fearlessness. Courtney didn't hesitate. She lit up the stage, literally. Her initials, CH, blazed in giant flaming letters behind her. The music exploded. And then she did something no one expected. She left the stage. Dancing across the floor, singing face to face with the judges, Courtney turned the studio into her playground. The crowd went wild. Simon grinned. Howie Mandel couldn't stay in his seat. Even Mel B, once critical, was now cheering like a fan in the front row. "You're on fire," Howie shouted. "You're a superstar." Mel B laughed and shouted, "At one point I thought your legs were gonna snap." Whatever doubts the audience had, they were gone. In that moment, Courtney wasn't a contestant. She wasn't a shy kid. She was the show. But despite the standing ovations and thunderous applause, what happened next left everyone speechless. She had the voice. She had the stage presence. She had the judges on their feet and the world in her corner. But when the final votes came in, Courtney Hadwin's name wasn't called. Not even in the top 5. It was the moment no one saw coming. Social media lit up with disbelief. Fans were furious. Headlines labeled it one of the biggest upsets in America's Got Talent history. How could that performance, the fire, the soul, the spectacle, fall short? Even the judges seemed stunned. But there were no second chances. The votes had been counted, and Courtney's journey on AGT had come to an end. Or so people thought. Because what looked like a disappointing finish was actually the beginning of something much, much bigger. Courtney wasn't walking away in defeat. She was walking into a career. She may not have taken home the trophy, but Courtney Hadwin walked off that stage with something far more powerful: momentum. Weeks after the finale, she was back in the spotlight, performing in the official AGT Las Vegas live shows alongside champion magician Shin Lim. It was a star-studded lineup, and Courtney held her own, not as a contestant, but as a headliner. Then came the deal that changed everything. In December 2018, just months after her season ended, Courtney signed an exclusive record contract with Simon Cowell's Psycho Entertainment in partnership with Arista Records. The same label that once launched global pop stars was now backing a shy teenager with a raspy voice and a rebellious spirit. And she didn't waste time. In 2019, Courtney released her debut EP, The Cover Sessions, a bold showcase of her voice reimagining hits like Harry Styles' Sign of the Times, the Jonas Brothers' Sucker, and even Old Town Road by Lil Nas X. Every track was raw, unpolished, and unapologetically her. She returned to the AGT stage that same year, not as a contestant, but as a rising star, to perform her first original single, Pretty Little Thing, during America's Got Talent, The Champions. Meanwhile, her YouTube channel exploded. Fans followed her journey, craving more. By the end of 2022, she had over 650,000 subscribers and 27 million views, without a single mainstream radio hit. She hadn't just built a fan base, she'd built a movement. But behind the music, a question lingered. For someone who lit up the world stage like a wildfire, Courtney Hadwin's silence in recent years has been noticeable. After her explosive debut EP and return performances, fans expected a full-length album, major tours, or perhaps even a viral breakout. But instead, things slowed down. No chart-topping singles, no major label rollouts, no high-profile interviews. So what happened? Rumors suggest Courtney may have struggled with the creative direction of her music. Some insiders claim she pushed for more control over her sound, wanting to stay raw and gritty, while the industry wanted polished and commercial. It's been said that disagreements over artistic freedom may have put her big label momentum on pause. But Courtney never stopped creating. Her YouTube channel continued to receive updates, raw covers, acoustic sessions, and unreleased originals that gave fans glimpses of her evolving artistry. Far from chasing the pop machine, Courtney seemed to carve her own path. Independent, quiet, but fiercely authentic. Still, the lack of mainstream visibility left fans wondering, was this a strategic retreat? A personal decision to avoid the spotlight? Or something behind the scenes we haven't seen yet? Whatever the case, one thing was clear. Courtney Hadwin hadn't vanished. She was simply watching, waiting, evolving. Courtney Hadwin didn't need to win America's Got Talent to win the world's attention. She didn't have the polished smile of a pop princess. She didn't play by the rules. And she didn't let fear keep her quiet. Instead, she exploded onto the stage as a contradiction. Timid yet fearless. Awkward yet electrifying. She stunned the world not just with her voice, but with the raw truth of it. Every note screamed rebellion. Every performance defied expectation. And that's why people couldn't look away. Even now, as she moved quietly through the music world, away from the charts and headlines, she remains unforgettable. A symbol of how powerful it is to be different, to own your quirks, and to stay true to who you are no matter how loud the world gets. Whether she drops a surprise album next month or disappears into legend, Courtney Hadwin has already done what most artists never will. She made her mark. And for a girl who once trembled on stage just to say hi, that may be the loudest statement of all.